The U.S. shoots down a spy balloon after it hovers for days over military sites. 3 more unidentified objects are shot down days later. These stories have dominated the news cycle, but still so many questions remain. What was the true intent of the balloon? What were its capabilities? How many more like it? Where did the other unidentified objects come from? Did the U.S. respond appropriately? So many questions remain unanswered behind a wall of classified information. Today we'll focus on 3 questions. Why all of a sudden this blatant string of airspace breaches? How extensive is China's spying? And where is all of this going? It's not surprising that countries spy on the United States. We can be sure that the U.S. spies on nearly every other country. Balloons seem pretty outdated, however, and not as sophisticated as satellites and drones. But balloons can actually be very effective. Because they're lower than satellites, captured images are of much higher quality, and they can also stay over a site for minutes, if not hours, taking high-definition video. They're also much cheaper. And we now know that China has a worldwide fleet of such spy balloons. They've been sighted in 5 continents, but they're usually out of sight, beyond the reach of the naked human eye. To put it mildly, any intelligence gained from the spy balloon was the tip of the iceberg. Right under our noses, in plain sight, the CCP has been engaged in a form of espionage that has meant billions of dollars stolen in trade secrets, an untold amount of military technology transfer, human intelligence gathering, cyber theft and hacking, and even collection of Americans' DNA. Fang Fang may be the Chinese poster child of James Bond-type espionage. She posed as a college student, but lured several up-and-coming politicians into sexual relationships. Her most successful catch was the city councilman Eric Swalwell, who would eventually become Congressman Swalwell and member of the House Committee on Intelligence. More frequent than federal politicians, Chinese agents in America participate in what's known as transnational repression. Especially Chinese Americans are targets of harassment campaigns. Chinese agents were recently found to operate dozens of police stations outside of China, including several here in America. FBI Director Christopher Wray has testified that Chinese agents have actively stalked U.S. residents and planted listening devices in homes and cars. U.S. intelligence leaders have stated that the CCP has stolen more data from Americans than every other nation combined. Vital technology secrets are the top targets. Routine hacking exercises are a long-term study into how to relatively weaken the U.S. military through technological transfer. But Americans' sensitive personal information is also valued. Breaches at the U.S. Office of Personnel Management, the credit reporting agency Equifax, Marriott Hotels, and a large insurance firm were Chinese hacks that resulted in the theft of tens of millions of Americans' personal information. Such information can be used to build AI technology as well as to assist in its human intelligence, espionage, and blackmail schemes. Thankfully, TikTok is increasingly in people's crosshairs. It's long been shown to censor and promote content so as to bolster the CCP's image and seed division in America. It also harvests data from users' phones and sends it directly to Beijing. Some have called it a weaponized military application. Huawei and ZTE have also been charged with espionage capabilities wired into their hardware and software. A very good argument can be made that all three of these companies are closely aligned with the CCP's military branch. It's believed that the largest bank of American DNA data is not in America, but in China. The biotech behemoth Beijing Genomic Institute, or BGI, is one of the largest holders. While its databanks could be used for legitimate medical care, both the Congressional Commission on China and a top U.S. counterintelligence agency have warned in recent years that DNA data could easily be used for bioweapon purposes. It's conceivable that in a matter of years, not decades, genomic sequencing could help produce a virus that targets people by race. Or, if the genes of a high-level target were on file, say those of a president or a military official, a custom-made virus could easily be spread throughout the population undetected, only to trigger a deadly reaction for that person or their close relative. BGI is a private firm, but the line between state-run and private in China is virtually non-existent when it needs to be. Research exchange programs, whether at universities, private firms, or even government labs, have been very beneficial for China. Just one example are the well-known concerns at Los Alamos National Laboratory. That's America's most advanced nuclear research center. At least 162 researchers from Los Alamos, including at least one with top-secret security clearance, now work in China, assisting in the regime's development of its most cutting-edge weapons, including hypersonic missiles. It's not just Bill Gates that is purchasing large swaths of American farmland. CCP-linked Chinese firms have bought billions of dollars of acreage in the last several years, making China the largest foreign buyer by far. One controversial purchase nearly went through just 15 miles from a U.S. Air Force base in North Dakota. A purchase that did go through resulted in 140,000 acres of Texas farmland going to Mr. Sun Guangxin. He's a billionaire known to employ numerous Chinese military officials. The above list of espionage is far from complete. As head of the FBI, Christopher Wray, stated in 2022, a new case pertaining to China opens every 12 hours. China has been allowed to penetrate so deeply for so long into our open society that the line between espionage and soft power influence is often very blurred. Here are two hard-to-believe examples, not necessarily of espionage, but of a Chinese lobby that is so powerful that laws and even common sense are flouted. The Federal Retirement Thrift Investment Board invests money for federal employee pensions, including military personnel. Some of their investments fund companies with direct ties to the CCP's military. So men and women in our armed forces are essentially investing in a military force that is being built up specifically to kill them. Many other pensions are also tied up with the CCP's military as well. And this is because Wall Street has long held very different standards for Chinese companies. And finally, just consider this fact. To this day, many countries' governments, including our own, refuse to press China on the origin of COVID-19. The Chinese lobby is so great that espionage, like I've just described, has been able to carry on for decades. The spy balloon takedown represents a clear escalation in a growing trend in U.S.-China relations, namely more visible and more direct conflict. For 30 plus years, basically ever since the 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre, the world, led by the United States, has always given China a pass. There was an agreement. China's gross violations of human rights and even international law could be talked about, but only in private. Never enforced, certainly never talked about in public. This gave the CCP face in front of its people, and, the theory went, it allowed the CCP time to change. The folly of that deal began to lift 5 years ago and was perhaps fully dismantled during the pandemic. Eye on China believes that the spy balloon is somewhat of a Sputnik moment. It's visible proof to every American, not that the CCP is so advanced in its technology, but that it is so brazen in trampling on our sovereignty. The CCP threat to national security is real. And besides one or two other matters, the CCP threat is the only other bipartisan issue that actually unites our divided country and even our divided government. The CCP brand continues its downward spiral, and the implications may be global. Tune back soon for more analysis on this evolving situation. Thanks again for joining us at Eye on China, and we'll see you next time.